Good afternoon, Central Ohio, and thanks for joining us here for another edition of our 10 Weather Impact Show. I'm Meteorologist Aaron White, and it's been an interesting change in our forecast here over the last several days as we've gone from near record warmth back on Saturday with low 80s. We had a high of 82 in Columbus. The record was 83, so not too far off. And then we got all that rain yesterday, and now we're back to some more comfortable conditions here this afternoon. We have the sunshine and we have nice temperatures as well, but we do have some more changes in the forecast looking ahead to the next several days. So as we dive into things here this afternoon, we are still tracking plenty of sunshine there across Central Ohio. As we look live over Columbus right now, beautiful afternoon. We got perfect sunshine, just a couple of clouds here and there, but really nice conditions already. Getting closer to 60 degrees. We are currently at 59 here as of 2 p.m. Winds are light, less than 10 miles per hour. Different story compared to, of course, yesterday when we had winds gusting over 30 and upwards of 40 miles per hour with all that rain that was moving across the area. And again, we had some good rainfall as we had rainfall amounts over an inch in Columbus and for many locations picking up at least 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So that's going to really help with the drought conditions, and we'll likely see a good update to the drought here coming up on Thursday with the latest update that will be released here Thursday morning. Now, as we talk about our current temperatures, everyone is into the upper 50s to lower 60s. Most of us now in the low 60s, but still cooler in Columbus at 59. 62 right now in London, 63 in Circleville, 62 in Lancaster, and around 59 degrees there in Logan and MacArthur. Now, coming up later on this evening, as we have clear skies in the forecast, we still are talking about Comet Lemon. This is going to be visible for the next several nights, and coming up tomorrow, it is going to make its closest approach to the Earth by 55 million miles away. So, not really that close, but because it's going to be the closest approach, it will be at its brightest tomorrow, actually really for the next few nights. So if you want to check it out and see it for yourself, you're going to want to look to the western, northwestern sky about an hour after sunset. So that's about 7:30, 7:45. Find the Big Dipper and then look to the left, and you're going to see something very fuzzy, kind of faint. And that's going to be Comet Lemon. And if you have a pair of binoculars, or if you have a nice camera that can do a long exposure photo, try that. Do an exposure for about 5 seconds and you'll likely see it appear on the image. That's going to be your best bet to really view the comet. And you're also going to have to get away from city lights. If you're in the city, if you're anywhere close to downtown, really anywhere within the 270 loop, likely not going to be able to see the comet. You really have to get away from the light pollution. Any source of light, the darkest sky is going to give you the best viewing of the comet. And thankfully, we are tracking the clear skies here for this evening. Really not a cloud in the sky as we get closer to 8 p.m. Again, that's going to be the time when the comet is best viewed here later on this evening. And then again, for the next couple of nights, if we have clear skies, you will still be able to see that. Now, going into tomorrow, not going to have clear skies in the morning. We have clouds coming in and also a few scattered rain showers that not really going to amount to that much. It's not going to be really too much of a nuisance, just a couple spotty showers here for the morning hours. But it will be cool tomorrow, so a light jacket, not a bad idea here as we're tracking the cool temperatures, the scattered showers here for the day. And really, as we go through the forecast, we are starting to see a bit more of an active pattern setting up. We had, of course, the big storm yesterday that brought us all the rain. We have another system passing to our north that will kick in some scattered showers here tomorrow into Wednesday. And yet another system arriving looking ahead to the weekend that will also bring us some more rain. So we're finally seeing that change. And because we have more systems coming through, more chances for rain and better chances to get us out of the drought. And hopefully that will be the case as we go through the next few weeks. Now, looking at the big picture here, we have clear skies from really most of Ohio all the way back to the west. High pressure is in control. We're stuck between a couple systems right now. One, of course, that brought us all the rain here on Sunday, and that is now focused over around Boston. They're getting some good rainfall up into parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, into Maine. That is moving away. And then we're looking back to the west. This is our next system that's going to build in here for tomorrow and Wednesday. And the main system is actually going to track due east over the Great Lakes region. But what you see right here, this trailing boundary of clouds and rain showers over Iowa and Minnesota, that will move through Ohio tomorrow morning, and a few more scattered showers still possible as we get into our Wednesday. So looking at this here on the hour-by-hour forecast, we have sunshine for really the rest of the day. Clear skies are in the forecast, and then overnight clear skies as well. That will allow temperatures to drop down into the mid-40s here for tonight. So quite cool. Maybe not as cool as we were this morning. We were down in the 30s to lower 40s, but then the clouds arrive, and here we are at 6 a.m. A few spotty showers possible, but it's quick and it's not going to amount to anything. Less than 1/10 of an inch really is expected here for the next couple of days. So nothing like what we saw yesterday in terms of rainfall. And then we're actually back to the sunshine and making for actually a fairly decent Tuesday, but it will be a tad breezy, so it may still feel a bit cooler than today because of the wind that we have in the forecast. Now for today, 63 for a high, plenty of sunshine still for this afternoon. Winds, still a breeze, but not as bad as we had here on Sunday when the winds were gusting over 30 miles per hour. West winds about 5 to 10, maybe up to 15 miles per hour here for this afternoon. And then mostly clear skies are expected here overnight. South winds staying a little breeze here and there, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, we are going to be tracking breezy conditions here going into tomorrow and Wednesday as that storm system passes mostly to our north, but as it wraps around, it's going to pull in some cooler air. It's also going to kick in some more clouds and scattered showers going into our Wednesday. So a bit of an unsettled day with a few showers around, breezy conditions, and those temperatures, yeah, kind of chilly for, at least this time of year. We haven't had highs in the 50s for a little bit of time, but 53 is what we're calling for here on Wednesday afternoon. Now, we do start to recover in terms of our temperatures going into Thursday and Friday. A little bit more sunshine. We are back up into the upper 50s, but notice Friday morning down to 36 degrees. We will likely see some areas of frost here as we head into our Friday morning, and some areas could actually dip into the lower 30s, meaning we could actually see some of our first freezes as we look ahead to Friday. So some chillier conditions are in the forecast. And then as we talk about the weekend, again, that is our next system. And this is the one that actually has better chances of bringing us some good moisture and likely some good rainfall potential here as we head into Saturday and Sunday. So we are watching that for you, but we're also watching things in terms of the climate, and carbon dioxide levels actually saw a record jump in 2024. Here's Jesse Mitchell with this week's Climate Watch report.
We're keeping an eye on the climate. Here's what you need to know. Coral reefs, one of Earth's most important ecosystems, have hit a tipping point. A new report from the University of Exeter warns they are the first environmental system to pass a climate point of no return. The study found warming oceans are driving widespread coral mortality, with 84% under heat stress and mass bleaching underway. Scientists say the crisis threatens marine life and the livelihoods of 1 billion people. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide levels saw a record jump in 2024. The World Meteorological Organization reported concentrations surged by 3.5 parts per million in just 1 year, the biggest jump since record keeping began in 1957. The increase was not only driven by fossil fuels, but also by massive wildfires and weakened forests and oceans that usually absorb carbon. Scientists warn those natural safety nets are starting to fail, allowing more heat-trapped gas to stay in the atmosphere for centuries. And finally, a car that runs on sunshine. Aptera Motors, a California company, is going public with the world's first self-charging solar car. The three-wheeled vehicle can drive up to 40 miles a day on solar power alone and 400 miles when plugged in. At $35,000, the company says it's the first car that makes its own fuel throughout the day. That's your Climate Watch. For the latest on climate and environmental news, go to cbsnews.com and follow us on Instagram at CBS News Planet. I'm Jesse Mitchell in New York.
And finally today, let's check out some new video sent to us here at 10 TV. Very interesting last week as we were watching some big storm systems rolling through the West Coast, and that actually produced some heavy rainfall, but also some heavy snow in the higher elevations across several locations out across the West. This is a look at the Sierra Nevada mountains there in California, where more than a foot of snow fell in several locations there on the eastern part of the state. Again, in the higher elevations, we're talking about 8,000, 10,000 feet, more than a foot of snowfall. And it wasn't just there in California. Parts of Colorado actually today are getting quite a bit of snowfall, causing some impacts on Interstate 70. So it's that time of year where we're starting to see more of the Rockies getting some more snowfall. And eventually we'll start to talk about that around here, but not for a while. Nothing like that in our forecast here for quite some time now. On the other side of the country in New York, a wicked good time is brewing, and this is actually in Sleepy Hollow, New York. So if you remember Sleepy Hollow from the story there, this is actually something that's happening for the last 6 years. Organizers are hosting the annual stand-up paddleboard Witches Festival in Kingsland Point Park. And a lot of people there dressing up as witches and then grabbing their oars and just paddling around the river. This is actually taking place on the Hudson River with all those stand-up paddleboarders just enjoying the festival, some good times with music, of course, some different brews and a lot of different vendors as well. And organizers say more than 12,000 people actually attended the event last year. And Sleepy Hollow, again, is the background for Washington Irving's short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, featuring the Headless Horseman. So kind of a cool sight there to see that many people dressed up as witches, and then of course just having a good time there on the paddleboard. And thankfully the weather looked pretty decent, at least for some partly cloudy skies, and they'll have some decent weather as well. And so will we. We have some nice weather in our forecast here still today, but we are tracking some chances for rain in the forecast going into tomorrow. So that'll do it for us today here on our 10 Weather Impact Show. Coming up later on this evening, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in with the latest forecast as he's tracking the rain showers tomorrow, the breezy conditions, and of course those cooler temperatures that we have here for the rest of the week. But until then, you can always catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com.